Hey, brothers and sisters, and everybody, and or anybody. I am continuing on in regards to BSU, Baby Steps University, moving on up, God willing, one step at a time. I want to go from yesterday. I mentioned James 4:17, so that's a verse where God says, "So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin." Now let's break that down. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him is sin. So we have like the Ten Commandments, some of the big boys, things that you know are wrong, blatant, straight up. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not covet, things like that. And for those that are maybe new in the faith and yeah, they need that milk and they're just like on the basics, that's something maybe you can simply stop right now and just look up the Ten Commandments and how and I plan on operating and doing these things aren't just giving you fish, but it's teaching you how to fish so then you can be self-sufficient, because I'm not God, nor can any man say he is God besides the one true God, Jesus Christ. And so in that, understand that anything that I'm saying is from him in the first place. It's him operating in me. As he says, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. So it's his spirit dwelling in, and it's the fact that I even know who he is from his grace. The point is for you to slowly grow and be self-sufficient in the Lord and him alone. He says the branch can can produce no fruit apart from the vine. So you're not going to be able to prosper and do anything prosperous apart from him. You have to dwell within him and be connected with him. And so in that, you have the desire to pursue him. So what I'm trying to get at is I'm not just going to be telling you all these things and you can obtain all the knowledge and hear it, but it will only go kind of in like a side drawer rather than to operate in your full house. It'll go in like maybe a closet, maybe that you open up occasionally. You need to allow his word to dwell fully in your house, in your temple, because your body is your house. And you need to allow him to fully operate and do what he does. And therefore you have to desire that. And you have to want to pursue and put in some work. It's going to take time. It's going to take work. It's going to take intentionality. It's going to take dying of self, dying of the flesh, the things that, right now you don't feel like doing. I get it. Oh, I so get it. When you don't feel like doing it, you're like, man, I don't feel like working out. It's like, man, one time I was down bad. I was down bad. And I'm working. I'm getting good money. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get that money, baby. And so I lock in and I'm living for money at the time and I'm getting all this money but I'm dead inside. I'm so dead inside. I'm like, this is garbage. Life is garbage. Everything's garbage. And I get super overweight, out of shape. I mean, I'm out of shape bad. And I try to start working out again. Eventually, a stirring to like, all right, I can't continue this. This is not the way. This sucks. I got to change up. But in starting to try to change up, the desire was there, but it was so hard trying to start working out after getting so out of shape, having no stamina, no strength, overweight, feel slow, am slow. It's like, dang, this sucks. And it's hard. I remember to this day, this is the truth, and this is a little part of my testimony. I know I haven't shared much of my testimony on here. Maybe I'll slowly start, including that in. I was going to do one push-up. My whole life, I've pretty much been able to at least do 50 push-ups on the drop of a dime at any time. I don't say that boastfully. I say that for you to understand the magnitude of how bent out of shape I was, how down I was down for the count. You know what I'm saying? And I go to do push-up, and I did one push-up. Go to do a second push-up, I couldn't do it. I could only do one push-up. It was that bad, it really was. And you know how frustrating that is to be able to have been able to do something your whole life or consistently, and then try to do it and not be able to do it, and then feel pitifully weak and not even have stamina or endurance to try again or the capability to do it again. So you don't even have the stamina to train and to build it up. It's like I don't. Not only do I not have the power, but I'm not even able to train. And I remember in that moment, I was realizing I have to train just to train. I was so bent out of shape that just training was hard. Like and I have to train literally. That's how far I have to go on the basics of these baby steps of, dang, I'm down bad. And I had to switch up, and I was like, all right, I literally can't do push up. So what do I need to do? And I started doing like wall ups, I guess you can call, standing and just leaning at a 45-degree angle against the wall and pushing off the wall. I had to start that bad of basics. And that's okay. And that's totally okay. Humble yourself and understand, yeah, heck yeah, it's not glorious. It's ugly. I'm over here being a big old blob, and it's nothing against anything. This is just the reality. You know, I'm bent out of shape and I'm bad, and I know it's true. And I ask God for strength and conviction, and He gave it to me. And you have to be honest with yourself to even acknowledge that these things are real and that they're happening. And I'm just like, I'm so bent out of shape, and I'm doing push-ups against the wall just to get started. But man, it took time, but it was so worth it. But I didn't feel like it. And that's the whole reason I share that story, is because I didn't feel like it. It was so hard. I didn't feel like doing anything. But I started slow, super small, and way set the bar way lower than it had ever been. The bar had never been that low. That was low. But it's like, you know, when something's really scary, you know, we do it since we're kids. You kind of, you know, hide and close your eyes. You don't want to look at it. It's too scary. But it builds up. It's like a fire in your house. You don't want to acknowledge that fire. And it started out just in the corner. You're like, this ain't nothing that serious. I'm just going to look away and go play games or go cook or whatever it is. But as that time goes, that fire grows. And eventually the smoke is flowing everywhere. Then it's getting hot and you can't breathe. And you're like, I can't ignore this any longer. I'm going to die. It's suffocating me. The goal is for us to acknowledge what's going on and address it as early as we can. It doesn't matter if it's like, don't let that fear come in. Well, yeah, that's great if it's new. But Colby, this fire has been going on for 5 years of my life, and I've never even wanted to address it. And you're telling me to try to open up my eyes to it now? Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. And you start small, baby steps, start small. Whatever the problem is, the addiction, the bondage, the fear, all of it, you got to fight. But and humble yourselves. That's fine. You know, God says pride comes before the fall. Pride comes before the fall. Humility comes before honor. So humble yourself and understand that humility is nothing but a setup. It's a red carpet for honor to come rolling on through in your life. Honor and blessings and integrity and praise. I'm telling you, you're going to praise God. You're going to be like, thank you. Thank you for telling me to try when I didn't feel like trying. I get it. You don't feel like trying. Of course, you feel horrible about whatever it is. That's just one example I'm giving you, but there's so many. I know how you feel. It's like you feel horrible. You don't feel like you have the strength, the endurance, even the desire is pitiful, and you're just like, I can't do this. You can with Him. He says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So that's why God comes to the factor. God, give me strength. And even if you don't believe in it that much, it only takes the faith of a mustard seed. It's tiny. That seed is like the smallest seed, literally, and yet it grows like the biggest. That's what He's trying to show you. He can do everything. God's unstoppable. He's trying to literally bless you. He says you'll be the head and not the tail, the lender and not the borrower. You're more than conquerors through Christ. And everything about who He is victory, and He wants you to have victory, but you do have to fight. You got to fight to let Him fight and let Him in. And you just take that little baby step, and He's going to come in and do what only He can do with His power, with His might, because you can do nothing apart from Him. So apart from Him, you can literally do nothing. And then yet, with Him, you can do everything. It's a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. I'm choosing God. God all the way. This isn't no contest. This is victory or defeat. This is domination or obliteration. It's clear as day. Make your choice and know that it's worth investing in following and obeying Him when you feel like you can't do it. All throughout the Bible, you need to look up the story of Gideon, David versus Goliath. You need to look these stories up and learn. And I'm about to run out of time, but the point is all throughout the Word is domination coming in the most unlikely situations via our eyes, our fleshly eyes, our humanly understanding. We're like, no chance that dude is beating that dude. Nope. That giant, he's going to whoop. No chance. I'm betting 5 million on David getting obliterated 7 seconds in. That's what the world's going to see it as. God's so far above us. Trust Him. I know it seems impossible, but don't lean to your own understanding, but trust in God with all your heart. I hope you guys have a blessed one. And take care of yourselves. Be bold. You can do it.